So your underlying energy is the Ten of Swords, and I was shuffling this, and I saw it earlier. But then I was like, okay, that came up. Is your underlying energy completing and ending a situation? But the Ten of Swords isn't always just like the ending of a cycle, a devastating ending. It can also indicate that this is recovery too. This is yes, it may have been a brutal ending that you guys have gone through, but the healing portion is the part that's the most that's the biggest number for the Ten of Swords, right? It's the biggest point, is recovering from something so devastating. And a lot of the times, right, we can go, we can heal, and we can be on our own for a little bit, and we may it may take a long time for us to truly heal from a lot of those wounds. And when we look at the situation that comes in, we be like, oh no, we're not ready for this. I don't want this. I don't think I could do this. But you have everything that you need to actually jump into this new beginning. So the Ten of Swords is coming up as Rutherford says, the worst has happened, but it's still plaguing and dictating how you move forward in your life because it hasn't been recovered yet. You haven't truly 100% recovered. And you're never going to 100% recover before something new comes into your life, because that's just not how the universe works. It's like, perfect timing. You're halfway through. Let me just throw a monkey wrench in here because you're ready. So that being said, I do see you guys with the Six of Swords. You guys did try to move on. You guys did try to adjust, and now it's time to it's trying to get to the Ten of Swords where the worst is truly over. Not just actions wise, but also emotional, right? Mental. Nothing plaguing your mind and keeping you from making decisions that would ultimately make you happy. But because you've gone through something so devastating, it's hard to not think of how the worst could come, right? So, looking at this relationship, there is some things that are very similar between you and this other person. But the thing that is like very profound to me is that, you guys are trying your best to achieve something new, in despite of everything that you've gone through. Both of you. And it's hard, especially, like I said, with the Ten of Swords. Everybody's gone through some serious stuff this week. Really. Leos, especially Libras, Virgos, 7-1s coming up, but I tell them, you guys have gone through some serious ass shit with that 7 of Wands. And even though you know how to get to where you want to be, you're using that information to defend yourself. And I feel like everybody's kind of getting that sort of same message. Everybody's getting the same sort of message, including you this time around too, Scorpios. But, everybody is trying to go ahead and be out there and try to, get what they want. But it's hard when this has impacted your life. So it's like, what do we need to do? How can we overcome this? What do I have to do to be able to, have a prosperous relationship with the person I have right now, currently in this relationship, or someone brand new? So we're going to go ahead and start, right? We're going to start with this person here. Feel free to pick the side that resonates with y'all the most. But the person with the Queen of Wands in their mind spaces has a tremendous amount of confidence. They're ready to put themselves out there. They're cool with their authenticity, right? They're aware of who they are through and through, dark and light. They're accepting that part of themselves here. I think that's the hardest part for them, is accepting the darkness as well as letting them shine bright. Because Scorpios, you guys are very private. So you guys are not trying to be like the people, the life of the party. You guys are not really those kind of people. You're not a Leo, you're a Scorpio. You don't resonate in the shadows, but you don't want to like everybody up in your business. But somehow people still be drawn to you anyway, right? You like privacy. You like to, you have your own space, and that's good. But people still gravitate to you because, you're mysterious, and people, people love that. But at the same time, like, you becoming more aware of those, of those aspects about you, or you are aware of those things, period. You've always been. And it's about letting that part of you shine now, instead of, trying to, instead of like no longer kind of not shunning it or hiding it, just like, not really caring about it. You're more confident. You're stepping more into your energy, and you're rocking and vibing in a very powerful way. And I see this relationship for you guys, how you guys coming into it, is you being yourself. The most that you've ever been. And especially since something happened in the past where somebody either has betrayed your trust, because this is the card for betrayal, made you feel like you can't be yourself because they would they would do something that would hurt you, and the last time you've ever been open and who you are. Like I said, you guys are private people. Nobody knows you to the very extent unless you let them in. The last time this happened, you had pains. You had someone backstab. You have been hurt before. Now the other person who's got the magician, so they're coming in very confident too. They think that they can be themselves as well. But the thing is that they also see this relationship as something that they've manifested into their life, because they are prepared for the relationship. They feel like they're the most ready. They're as ready as they can be anyway, right? But the way that they're acting right now is the Two of Pentacles. They're weighing up options. They're juggling things. They're kind of distracting themselves. It kind of looks like the things that they're going into, like they think that they're ready, but the way they're acting isn't. So maybe, in actuality, they may not feel like they're ready. They may feel like they need a little more confidence, and which is why they're distracting themselves and they're putting other things before their feelings or their emotions, which is in turn putting things in front of y'all's relationship from getting, from having progress being made. Because this person isn't feeling very good, feeling very hot about themselves. Perhaps this person may feel like the last time they were in a relationship, they weren't prepared for it, they weren't ready, and they may feel like they're responsible for it being over or being destroyed. Or maybe this person feels like they're not sure if they're ready because of whatever happened to them, which is probably betrayal too, and they're not sure if they could trust. Right? Because the Two of Pentacles, this is weighing up options, like figuring out which is the practical option, because they're not letting their heart in. That tells me they don't trust their heart. They don't trust their heart when making decisions. Because the last time they put their heart into something, they got hurt. They got seriously injured, like injured in the heart space, right? They were crushed. But that doesn't mean that their heart was wrong. And I think the situation when they're just looking at practical stuff is them saying that I don't trust my heart, so therefore I don't know if I can truly be in a relationship. Therefore, I don't know if I can truly love myself, because I don't trust that my feelings are going to protect me. But that's the thing, right? I think the thing is with boundaries is that we get it messed up. We think that our heart, our intuition is meant to protect us. It's meant to lead us towards, not improvement, but towards, learning things new, experiencing things. Our experiences, the knowledge, the thoughts, the practical thinking. Those are the boundaries. Those are what are meant to protect us, not our hearts, because our hearts always do what's best for us and always ring true to who we are as individuals. And the only way for us to be able to be true to ourselves as individuals is by listening to that heart part. But we have boundaries, we have experiences, we have knowledge, we have thoughts, we have, traditions, we have routines to keep our heart safe, because we have to protect our heart, not vice versa. So I feel like with this person, they're thinking, I can't trust my heart doesn't protect me, I have to be able to come from a practical space to figure out whether or not this is good enough for me. This is clearly showing that they're not trusting their heart, but the magician is balanced in the sense that he knows that he has to have emotions, he has to believe in himself. That's the part that I am not seeing from this person. They're coming from an all practical place. So they know that they're not in a place of, I don't think I thought they were thinking, I don't know why I thought that somebody may be thinking that they were ready. But in actuality, they're not. I think maybe this person is wants to be ready, and they kind of try to believe that they're ready, kind of lying to themselves. It could be, not all the time, that may not resonate with a lot of you guys. I think this person is honestly, how they truly see themselves in the relationship, or how they really think with this relationship, is that they're not truly ready. They understand that they have to be ready, they know they need to be ready, but they're still coming from a place of, I don't really know. Which is why the struggle here is the Two of Coins, where you guys are struggling to get, struggling. This is not really a stable relationship. There's lack in the situation because everybody's trying to fill a void with the relationship. Or at least this person is probably. Or perhaps I should take it back. I don't think anybody's trying to fill a void with the relationship. I think everybody's realizing the void that they have, and they don't think they can contribute in the relationship because of that void, when that is not the case. Everybody has everything that you need. You have everything that you need. But it's important to have it for yourself and to be aware of it being there, so that way you can grow as a person. So there is a feeling of lack and not having enough of this. Either that's trust, or feeling like this is feeling supported and feeling stable. Because everybody's going through their thing with their emotions at this moment. Because whoever this person is, they're going through some seriously old issues that have hurt them so badly that this is a trigger. You know, I think this person does see this person as a soulmate, the Six of Cups, but even then, this reminds them of the time that we were in a relationship with someone that they thought was a soulmate too, which very well still could be, right? Because soulmates could be anybody, but they were hurt last time they got involved with a relationship with somebody that was a soulmate, that they thought was a soulmate, that they felt a deep connection with. But I feel like this person is understanding too that this doesn't always have to be this way. The Three of Swords, that pain that they experienced from the previous relationship here, that doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way this time. Because not only have they grown as individuals, have they changed, have they accepted themselves and said screw it to everybody else's, BS and stuff like that. They've gotten more stronger in who they are. They are recognizing that even though this pain is coming up to remind them of the dangers of being in a relationship, they also understand that they've learned so much and improved so much that this doesn't have to be a reality. That their self-respect, that their love, that their boundaries that they've placed for themselves and for the people around them that they've set up can protect them and can lead them to a place of happiness again. It doesn't ever have to go down this road. It doesn't have to go down this Ten of Swords, Three of Swords road, being badly hurt and feeling betrayed. But this person has to trust their heart again in order for there to be more. In order for them to be able to take this step. Because this is a relationship. This has nothing to do with, practical stuff. Unless this is a business relationship. Maybe you guys are struggling with the finances right now and somebody's trying to make a decision about which, what thing they should invest their time and effort into and put all their dough into that because they're not confident in any other, in their emotions and, figuring out whether or not this is the right path for them to go down and seeing how it works. Because either way can turn out just as bad. But they're not allowing themselves to believe in any of these options, which would actually help them to prosper. Because if they believed in one of the options, they not only would they just be diligent and focused and committed to making it work, but they would have so much energy put into it. They have so much, that is manifestation energy going into what they're putting their time and effort into. And I know I went into a business sort of thing, but that's how I see it, right? Even when it comes to a relationship, if they believe in themselves and they believe in the relationship that it won't turn out and it doesn't need to turn out like it has been in the past, and even not even focus on the past, focus on how it can be better, how it can be beautiful, what you guys can do, how you guys can connect. If they focus solely on how they can make the best out of their relationship, there can be some beautiful seeds sown and things growing in such a beautiful, beautiful garden. But this person is not coming from a place of belief. This person's coming from a place of fact or a place of prediction. Because at the end of the day, the case, coins, they're real. And the only thing that you can do when it comes to the Pentacles is to predict what needs to be done in order for this to happen, when you could just have faith and keep moving forward. So it's interesting that what brought you two together was the Chariot. You have total 100% control of the self. You could rely on yourself. You could believe in the fact that you can do things and whatever, right? And I feel like you guys did tap into this situation where I think this person is confident in themselves as a whole, but not as in a relationship person, right? Not in a relationship. This person is confident in how they can execute things on their own. They can rely on themselves. They can trust themselves whatsoever. They got that. But when it comes to another person, they struggle. When it comes to a relationship, they struggle. And I feel like it's the same thing with this other person, right? They know that they can take care of themselves. They know their power. They know their strengths. They know they can do X, Y, and Z. And yet, they're struggling with the idea of another person involved. There's a struggle with the other person. They can rely on and they have great willpower. They can control themselves. But they cannot control the other person. They cannot control the outcome of that. So they lack trust, in my opinion. They lack trust that there can be beautiful things that can come from just them focusing on them, making the best out of their situation, the best out of their relationship, and allowing the other person to be the best that they can be too. I think both parties are coming from a good place, at least trying to be, trying to come from a good, from good intentions. But it's hard when you've gone through something so painful, and it's kind of, it obscures your view. The people, in it may let it obscure your view, because it doesn't always have to be this way. It doesn't always have to end up like that. So let's go and take a look at your whispers of love. Whispers of love, the wisdom of the oracle. Regeneration, that is what I'm talking about. These cards are on point today. So, regeneration, guys. What does that mean? Well, it really means it's the card for you, Scorpio. Like, this is your card here. Really, technically, it's judgment and death. That's really like your kind of cards, right? They associate with you the most. Would you give your energy to the most? But regeneration is very similar to those cards, because it talks about a situation not being over just because it's, hit some serious devastation, right? That's lava that's coming away from this growing crop that burned away probably the entire forest, but there's still life after death. You are still alive. You've gone through a transformational period. You've gone through serious changes due to the things that have been put to death, that has ended devastatingly, probably, like just like how this lava is just trickling away. But you are beautiful. You're still growing. You're still sprouting. You're showing life, and you can give life to anything. No matter what devastation you've faced, the end is never ever truly the end. And I think that's one of the things that I'm learning so much about in this lifetime, is that death is never truly death. It's just a cycle that we go through that transforms our experience to something different. That transforms us to experience new things, to experience life in the fullest. Because we all go through deaths in our lives. Not just physical, with relationships, with situations, with ourselves. Growth. Think about it. We had a death moment when we were we were adolescents to teens, right? We were babies to to growing up to being a teenager. That period where we're 10, like from 9 to 13, we were transitioning to being adults. That weird awkward phase of being a preteen. That's death. We're saying goodbye to that part of ourselves that could imagine crazy things and play outside for long periods of time or whatever, and transitioning to of course, right, what we've adopted from our society and what we learn and know about ourselves. We're transitioning. Everything that we know is coming to an end. But it's also coming to a new beginning, because we have to adjust to what we are and who we are in that moment. And I know I'm using kids as a reference, but think about it. We are always children. No matter how old we are always children, because we are always growing, we are always transitioning, we're always moving with the life. And this is exactly one of those things. This is exactly one of those things. Life does come after death. And it may not, and I don't think in this physical sense, in the sense of like me trying to say like, hey, there's an afterlife after this, or we reincarnate, but more of like, we go through deaths in situations in life all the time. But it's never the end, because we always have to find a new way to sprout our new sprouts, our new saplings rather, and grow that beautiful tree that we've always wanted to see blossom into something beautiful.